Yeah. So the next question I want to ask: does Pan-Africanism benefit Black Americans? And can there be some type of pro, or is it just all kinds? So does Pan-Africanism benefit Black Americans?
No. No.
Absolutely.
No.
No.
Let me jump in. I had a debate about 2-3 years ago on Sister Dr. Mayat's channel. That was the topic of the debate, the question that you asked. Does Pan-African, whatever ideology, benefit us? Can we use it in any way? I was debating a brother by the name of Asa Imhotep. And, my brother Ali was on with me. Shout out to my team, Be the Power, and United Sons and Daughters of Freedmen. And, it was embarrassing because he couldn't provide an answer to the question. The United States of America has a sound. It hasn't always been fair to us, but it has a sound judiciary that a lot of nations across the country do not have. This is why they have United Nations transitional justice programs where they're trying to implement measures to whereas the courts of other nations can run without corruption, et cetera, et cetera. The United States of America is not beholden to a lot of the United Nations provisions. When you're listening to Pan-Africanists, everything that they say is in international parlance. They're not speaking in American judicial terms. And I know because we just had a debate with Cam Howard and another brother from, again, I don't know if it was Narkin and Cobra, one of them, they all the same to me, in Boston this past October. And it wasn't even close, right? It was not close. So when the two things are side by side, the people get to see it. And when it was all over, everybody came up to us because they knew that we had the solutions. They knew that we had answers. 2 years ago, Los Angeles, Leimert Park, there was a reparations concert hosted by Cam Howard's organization, Reparations United, along with Sister Tara Perry's organization, Black Pact. I was invited to be one of the panelists. Cam Howard and Robin Ruth Simmons, avid Pan-Africanists. They were on that panel with us. We cooked so much, Robin Ruth Simmons didn't even want to talk. Then when we spoke, it was, yeah. And when they spoke, it was, nah. When it was over with, everybody was just grabbing me in the crowd. Nobody wants to hear that, and I want to be clear. I'm not xenophobic. I'm not one of those people that have problems with Africans. If you got a problem with us, we got a problem with you. As simple as that. You bring smoke to us, we're going to let out the Game of Thrones dragons on you. It's just as simple as that. But other than that, we don't do the xenophobia, none of that stuff over here. But that element doesn't belong in our space, that Pan-African element. Look at what they're doing right now. Whose permission in the grassroots did they come to? They didn't come to our organization, and we are major players in this reparations space. They didn't come to any of the organizations in California who are also major players in this reparation. I'm talking about the people that got work that you can touch and, see that is legislation, et cetera, et cetera. So this is something that they done on their own, and I'll land by saying this. White America has always viewed us as grown children that it could helicopter parent. And people from other places, along with many of our leaders like Marcus Garvey, they also looked at us as if we were little children and capable of thinking on our own. And them taking this action is indicative of exactly what I just spoke about. We reject the African Union's proposal because it wasn't given to those of us who are really putting in work for this reparations movement, period.
Okay.
What I would want to say is to talk about something nationally that happened in America and benefited from Pan-Africanism. Obama's father is not African American; he's an African, and it was an African that had a baby with a white woman. Yet everyone said this is the first black president, and that this is like such a consequential moment in history, and that changed a lot for black people. Obama becoming president, and he was considered black even though his father is African. So that's something nationally that has benefited Americans. And as far as Pan Africanism as a whole, if you look at mixed race children, whether that's white and black or whatever other race, you have these people now that are considered black, and they are a part of these cultures around these people that can speak on the behalf of black people around these people. So we work better as a unit, and we can get way more as a unit than we can do divided. Anytime you divide, just divide and conquer. So for me, I would want to work with people rather than work against people.
Well, let me say this because that has absolutely nothing to do with Pan-Africanism and what my brother just explained. The problem is two reasons why Pan-Africanism don't work. Number one, when you invoke in Africa, the people of Africa, the indigenous people, don't control the land or the resources. It's being controlled by your open enemy. So you're not going to be able to what Pan-African supposed to mean. You're not going to be able to practice it because you don't even run your country. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is when dealing with Pan-Africanism, most African countries don't have. And my brother at the bottom, I forgot your name too. He used to wear the fez all the time. I remember you signed at the TV.
Oh yeah, Naheem, Lord Abba.
Lord
that's
Abba.
father's name, Lord Abba. Lord Abba Naheem.
Yeah, we met in person a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah, but the second problem is most of these African countries practice nationalism in their culture. They're not practicing Pan-Africanism. And I think the problem that we have is we're coming into a time now where so many people have had microphones and they're speaking and they're leading our people astray, where they're not really realizing or understanding what Pan-Africanism is in the first place, right? Where it's a collective movement of us sharing resources and working together. Nigeria gets kicked out of every African nation they go to, right? Ghana and Nigeria hate each other. They don't practice Pan-Africanism. If you in Ghana and you go to Uganda, you are an immigrant. You don't belong there. So what I'm saying is they don't practice Pan-Africanism. They practice nationalism. The problem is when we were growing up here, especially most of us over 45. When we were growing up, everything was about Africa and the fist and the motherland is a black thing you wouldn't understand. The red, black, and green medallions, everything was facing to the eastward, Africa, right? While we was practicing this, Africa wasn't practicing this. And a lot of our people are starting to wake up to the reality that Africa is not this utopia that we was told. They don't practice Pan-Africanism, they practice nationalism. So no. We got to understand what actual Pan-Africanism is. What my brother was talking about at the top was just people, just in America, people working together because you got in close proximity. That's not Pan-Africanism because you can sleep with a white woman and make a baby.
Hey, share my screen real quick, Sister Dana. I'm going to be real brief.
I didn't know you could do that. Oh, okay.
All right. So this is one of the articles I did 2 live streams back to back on this, right? If this brother is saying that Obama is representative of Pan-Africanism, then that's even more reason why we should reject it. These are reputable sources, Jacob, and these are political news agencies. How Obama destroyed black wealth. I'll click on, and I'm gonna just run through it real quick. I'm not gonna really read anything, but I want people to see that these are some of the topics that we've covered on our platform. The nation's first African president was a disaster for black wealth. That's not the only one. Destruction of black wealth during the Obama presidency. People's Policy Project. Black wealth dropped 30% under Obama Biden. The Intercept. Obama's housing policies led to decline in black wealth. This is one of the ones I always share and I like really get into. People's Policy Project. how Obama destroyed black wealth. Obama didn't close the racial wealth gap. This is one of the ones that was produced by Dr. William Darity. How Barack Obama failed black Americans, the country's first black president, never pursued policies bold enough to close the racial wealth gap. So, my brother, if you want to use an example of how Pan-Africanism has worked for us, you can't use Barack Obama because he was a disaster for the American freedmen, point blank, period.
I would like to respond to that first. To George, I feel like you're talking about more of like the government, what the government is doing. You're saying, okay, Nigeria don't like Ghana, this country doesn't like this country. The government isn't following this type of Pan-Africanist movement. They're doing what makes sense, what the economics are saying in their country, what they're saying socially, what the government feels like is supposed to happen. Naheem, to say that Obama did this to black people, Obama brought us from a recession. And I don't want to get involved in politics because, you know, we're talking about FBA stuff. But
I'm talking about American freedmen stuff. I just want to be clear, but go ahead.
Obama as a president is consequential just as being a black president and also bringing us back from a recession and getting things back right and, you know, the economy growing. So I don't feel like Obama was supposed to do stuff specifically for black Americans. He was elected to be the president of the people. And I know that a lot of people try to say, oh, he didn't do anything for black Americans. That's not his job. But one thing I will say that he did for black Americans is that he added the body cams on police. So now we see when black men or anyone else is harmed by the police, it's on footage.
Real quick, Sister Dana, and I don't mean to be, but when I hear this stuff, I gotta correct it in real time. Can you share my screen again real quick? Because this brother, he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not studied this topic at all. I've just gave article after article that we didn't read. And if we want to, we can read it. I think Sister Dana is frozen. Yeah, Sister Dana is frozen.
Yeah, she is frozen. She's standing too stiff. She's not moving at all.
Because I want to show this brother who Obama helped. Because it wasn't us. You don't get articles coming out from economic think tanks saying that Obama destroyed wealth, black wealth. You don't get articles from the top socio economists in the country saying, and then just dismiss it as, oh, well, Obama made sure that the police have body cams.
And now he also made the statement about Obama not doing things for other groups. And I got a problem when I hear black people say that. And all due respect to you, like I'm gonna be no disrespect to you, but you should be ashamed of yourself when you say something like that.
That's right.
Because in America, white America haven't voted for all these white presidents and governors since the inception of America without expecting something specifically for them and their groups and their communities and things that benefit them. The Asian community, the gays come together and got their flags and put together their institutions of what they want to get things specifically for them, and they got things specifically for them. So what I'm saying is, when you make that statement, when the civil rights movement was created and our people was moving, we were doing things specifically for us, like bills that was passed for us in the military. There was things set in place specifically for us because of what we were going through. There's a bunch of federal laws on the books that's supposed to protect so-called African-American people, but it's been hijacked into people of color. So when you make that statement, like, you got to be careful, because we on the internet and everybody can hear you talk like that, and it's being said in blatant ignorance, because no other group would ever come on here and say they're not voting for something specifically for their group. That's not how it operates. That's not how we operate. Why do you think you got lobbyists and you got all these things? Like, we got to stop talking like that.
Share my screen real quick, Dana.
Let me respond to him 1 second, Naheem. Let me respond.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
George, you can't compare what happened with African Americans or even anyone in the diaspora based on European whites. European whites traveled and went to countries and built societies. Black African Americans were brought here, were only 13% of the population. So you want a man who was elected by all these people to go up and say, hey, I know all y'all elected me, but I'm going to do something for 13% of the population. They attacked this man for wearing a tan suit. Do you imagine what they would have did to him if he would have said, hey, I'm about to do stuff specifically for Black African Americans?
That I mean,
I finish.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
let me cook real quick. Let me cook real quick. So this is under Obama. I'm not going to read this. U.S. has added 1.1 million new millionaires under Obama, says study. See, the other thing was a study as well. That study showed that Obama's policies gutted Black wealth while he was fixing everybody else, while he was creating the conditions that caused what's called quantitative easing. We were hemorrhaging from our middle class on down to the bottom. What you're talking about is just absolutely crazy. Another myth is that our population group is the minority here. I want everybody to look up, go to Wikipedia right now and pull up ancestry in the United States. And it's going to give you an ethnic breakdown of all the people here. And there's going to be a list. The top of that list is going to say German Americans. And this number fluctuates. My brother Ali always contests that top number as the number one ethnic group in the United States of America. The second largest ethnic group in the United States of America is the American freedmen. You take out those people, them German Americans, that's probably double dipping, and we are possibly the largest ethnic group in the United States of America. Now, when you add all of these other groups together and you make it a racial thing where you got Hondurans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Colombians, et cetera, that the Democratic administrations just let waltz across the border and pad their numbers. Well, then if you look at it through that lens, well, yeah, they outnumber us as one big group. But when it comes to ethnic groups, we are not the minority in this country. We are either the first or second largest ethnic group in this country. Last point. The Asian American population is a small population in this country compared to ours or anybody else's. And this is the Asian American population collectively. When Biden first takes office, there was COVID, and they were trying to push this bill, the Asian American Pacific Islander community, AAPI, were trying to push this bill so that it was just money. It was a money grab. They used COVID as a money grab.
Yeah.
Right? So Macy Hirono, senator out of Hawaii, and Tammy Duckworth, senator out of Illinois, told the Biden administration that if you do not pass this bill and put money attached to it, I think it was $300 million a year. I don't know how long that lasted, but that first year they definitely got $300 million. Then when it's time to appoint your Supreme Court justices, et cetera, we're going to sit on our hands. This is what this brother is not versed in politics. He has absolutely no clue on, which is what most pan. I debated Cam Howard face to face. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about. We debated him. We pretty much debated him on that stage in Leimert Park. He didn't know what he was talking about. We debated him live and direct in Boston last October. And this is the premier Pan-African, right? The creme de la creme of Pan-Africans. And brother, man, you simply do not know what you're talking about. You don't.
Can I interject something with Obama? I just want to interject a little bit of the bullshit because it's Friday. Can I play this clip?
Yeah, I know it.
Oh, this ain't the one where he said you need black men need a gay black man in their lives. Is it? Oh, God.
Yo, he really said that? I thought that was BS. He really said
Nah,
that?
man, this dude said that. This dude is a sucker, man. We
So
don't rock with this dude.
This is Michelle Obama and her brother's podcast, and her husband, right, popped up as their guest. And of course, you know, he makes stuff go viral because of what he said.
Welcome to IMO. Look at you.
Wait, you guys like each other?
Oh yeah, really? Huh?
That's so
The
nice.
rumor mill. It's my husband, y'all.
She took me back.
Now don't start.
I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room
I
together.
I know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
Let me tell you. First of all, see, I'm in Wichita, Kansas for Austin's tournament, and you know, this podcast has made me quite popular.
You're big shot.
Famous.
And people come up to me all the time. This woman came up to me and she was so nice. She's like, "Can I have a picture?" Yeah. And then, so you know how you get the side hug, and she's like, "What did he do?"
And you knew she was gonna say what he did.
He. And I
You
was
knew
like,
it wasn't like what happened to him.
That is so
It was like,
terrible.
how'd he mess up?
how'd he mess up? And I said, "Well, what makes you think he messed up? Why couldn't it
Well,
been
why
her?"
did you just say no one messed up?
Well,
But
because
why-
I wanted to keep this conversation going so that I could tell you about it.
Oh Lord.
I was like, what? And she's like, "He did something, didn't he?"
Oh.
I was like, don't worry, everything's fine. And let me tell you, she was so happy. You would have thought I gave her a Christmas gift.
These are the kinds of things
Yeah.
that I just miss.
Mhm.
Right. So I don't
Yes.
even know this stuff's going on.
Right.
And then somebody will mention it to me and I'm all like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times, so we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay. Don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show.
See, but this is why I can't talk. See, you can take the hard stuff, but when I start talking about the sweet stuff, you're like, stop, no.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Those of you who do not have sons, so Emma, we are rooting for you because those of us with daughters,
We need good men.
we've got to have good guys out there, not necessarily to get married, but to make sure that what we're learning, I think, is that when we don't think about boys and just assume they're going to be okay because they've been running the world and they've got all the advantages relative to the girls, and all of which has historically been true in all kinds of ways. But precisely because of that, if you're not thinking about what's happening to boys and how are they being raised, then that can actually hurt women. And I would argue that some of the broad political trends we've seen, not just in this country, but around the world, have to do with this sense of, boys, men not feeling as if they are seen, feeling as if they count. And that then makes them more interested in appeals by folks who say, you know what, the reason you don't feel respected is because women have been doing this, or this group has been doing this, or that group's been doing this. And that is not that's not a healthy place to be.
Okay, I was trying to find the one when he said about the gay thing or whatever, but listening to
It's coming up. It's coming up.
I got
It's
it. Well,
coming up.
that was the end of that clip. I got to
Okay.
But he's like a Debbie Downer. Like even outside of him not being president, he's still just talking in circles. Like I don't know.
Hey,
Out of touch.
But brother Naeem, you what I'm about to say, you know about this because y'all taught civics for a long time, right? When I watched this, because I've been studying this for so long, he's doing a script, the 2030 agenda. You heard about the 2030 agenda, brother Naeem.
I've not heard it. Break it down real quick while you're giving your spiel.
Talk about the 2030 agenda for sustainable development and rights for women. When you watch TV now, you see all these women in masculine roles, right? They're socially engineering you to normalize women and equality. They want to have full equality around the world. I tell people, everybody's listening to me talk, just Google UN 2030 agenda and women's rights. And you're going to see them having meetings at the UN all over the world, trying to get women in prominent, powerful positions of equality, global equality. So when all of these powerful people are using these talking points, and they've been doing this stuff for the last 10 years, but most people don't look stuff up or study, so you don't know where it's coming from. Go watch a movie. You'll see a woman playing the Incredible Hulk now. All that stuff is to normalize certain things to get you to be they're destroying the old way of thinking to bring the new way of thinking. So you got a female president in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, Italy or Spain as well. So you're having women coming into prominent positions by 2030. So what they got to do is bring in the Robert Stahl, toxic masculinity, and all these talking points that down male masculinity, because they're bringing equality for women. But the way that we all can sit here and respect Dana as a woman, but when they have an agenda to do it, it's going to come through from an evil perspective. You have to demonize your sons in order to uplift the daughters. We don't have to do that. Just treat everybody right. But that's not the way that they do it. So I tell people, if you don't understand what I'm telling, Google UN 2030 agenda, sustainable development for women, and read it. Look at what the women are saying in different countries around the world. Look at the UN. She was one of the presidents for women's rights, global women's rights. All that stuff is right there. It's right there for you to see it.
So okay, so now we got on Obama. I want to swing back to the how can an African Union or African diaspora conversation, and I want to play this clip.
Dana with the data. Dana with the data.